one of the terrible flaws in religious thinking. God created you out of kindness to do you a favor. He loves you very much and he wants to do you a favor. And then we turn around and say, yeah, so what's the reward for this? Are you kidding? He does it all for you and you want a reward? How greedy can you get? So today, if you come to people and say, you know, if you behave and you give charity and you take care of people and you're moral and you're righteous and you'll get rewarded. You sound like a salesman. Leave me alone. I'm not interested. But if you say, God needs you, he created you because you're his partner in perfecting the world, will you be rewarded? You have a job. You have a purpose. You need a reward on top of that? Somebody recently pointed out one of the terrible flaws in religious thinking. God created you out of kindness to do you a favor. He loves you very much and he wants to do you a favor. That's why he created you. That's why he keeps you healthy. That's why he gives you blessings. And then we turn around and say, yeah, so what's the reward for this? So, are you kidding? He does it all for you and you want a reward? How greedy can you get? That is a powerful insight. Why do we keep looking for reward if all of this is for my favor to begin with? Mostly because we don't see it as a favor. Thank you very much. Oh, this is your favor? Did I have to wake up in the morning and milk the cow? This is your favor. So we said, no, there's got to be something more than that. But not more existence. It's only partially funny. You're burdened by all your needs. You just can't take it anymore. So you go for therapy. What happens when you talk to a therapist? The common therapist, right? You go there and you say, I can't do this anymore. Too many responsibilities, too many needs, too many burdens. I can't do this. In essence, what the psychiatrist is going to tell you, or the psychologist, is you have no idea how many needs you have. You know, your mother never wanted you. You know, you're jealous of your siblings. You know, you have a personality disorder. So, excuse me, I came here to lighten my burden, not to add to my burden. Sometimes I have more subconscious needs that are driving me crazy. Thank you very much. So as a last resort, you go to religion. Figure I'll get some relief. So you go to religion, and what do they tell you? You think you have problems in this world? When you die, you're going to have needs. Thank you very much. There's no way out. This is a Jewish message that should go out to the world. You have many needs, but so does God. And if you tend to his needs, you will be relieved of your needs. Mentally. It's like a person has many needs and he's bored and his job is boring and then all of a sudden somebody really needs you. You come alive. You have a purpose. There's a bigger cause that you can serve. I think all the people who go protesting, all the protesters, pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas, anti-America, anti-Jewish, anti-Zionist, they have no idea what they're protesting. From river to sea. Which river? Mississippi. They have no idea but it's a cause, and they're desperate for a cause. Why don't you go home and make dinner? No, that's meaningless. Here I'm doing something meaningful. What's the meaning? I don't know. The desperation for something bigger than my need. So I don't have to fulfill all my needs. I just have to have something more interesting to do. Something more crucial, something more real. And then my needs, whatever, we'll make it through. But I'm alive. If you think God has no needs and the only needs in the world are yours, you're trapped on a treadmill or a revolving door and you're going nowhere. And human beings can't stand going nowhere. Yeah.
Rabbi Friedman, one of the questions that often comes up with the groups that we bring here, afterwards we discuss what we've experienced and with the tour and everything and listening to you and others, is trying to understand the concept of the being of God. If he is eternal, if he was there before anything was created, then it assumes that he is self-sufficient. If that is true, how can an eternal, self-sufficient God have any needs? So, if the word need is important to use in this discussion, that's the question that often comes up. If it is a matter of semantics, where in essence God has no need, but he has desires, then that's an important distinction. How would you answer that?
Perfect. God has no existential needs. He needs no help existing. Thank you very much. He doesn't need to be increased. He doesn't need to get larger. He doesn't need to get older. He doesn't need to get smarter, right? His existence is perfect. That's the description of God. He always existed. He will always exist. He doesn't need to be created. Perfect existence. So if you have a perfect existence, then you don't have a life. So there are existential needs and there are life needs. Like marriage. You need to get married? Yeah. Like for what? To make you stronger? Richer? Smarter? You'll live longer? They say you do. Okay, but that's... In other words, you get married because your existence will be improved? No, it won't. It'll be halved. If existence means taking up space, being married means you lose half that space. You got to give up a lot of your existence to be married. So why do you do it? Because I don't marry for my existence. I marry to have a life. So do I need a life? Yeah, I need a life. Say, oh, aren't you self-sufficient? Yes, I'm self-sufficient. But where does that take me? So I can be Robinson Crusoe and live on an island? Why do we need partnership? Not to improve our existence. Having a friend means your existence is compromised. Because you got to Stop and think about another person. You can't just come and go whenever you want. Why do you do that? Better yet, why would you ever have a baby? What, you don't have enough troubles? You don't have enough needs? So having a baby is going to improve your existence? No, it won't. It'll kill it. Like a pregnant woman, her existence is absolutely hijacked. She can't eat what she wants, when she wants, how she wants. She can't lie. She can't sleep the way she wants, when she wants. And then the baby is born. Your existence is devastated, but you're so alive. So do you need to have a child? You need to be a mother? You need to be a father? Technically, in other words, for my existence, no thanks. But do I need a life? Oh yeah, I need a life. So yes, God's existence is perfect. That means he has no purpose, no vision, no goal, no objective. Not to improve his existence, of course not. But to have a partnership, to have someone, which is like a marriage. So why would you want someone in your life, in your house? In your bank account? Not to improve your existence. The reason we get married is because we are created in God's image, and he got married by creating us. So when God says it is not good to be alone, he's pretty much describing himself. He was alone. Perfectly alone. But then what? Being perfect is not all it's cranked up to be. It's kind of a dead end, actually. Being perfect and being dead, very similar. So when we say God is perfect, it's not really a compliment. It's maybe an explanation for why he created the world. Because his existence was perfect. And he went through a midlife crisis. And he said, now what? He said, okay, now I'm going to create someone to relate to. Do I need that for my existence? Oh no, they're going to make me miserable. And we do, we make him miserable. But he's a living God.
So would you say that God desired relationship? He could still exist without a relationship outside of himself. But he desired relationship, created us for that relationship that we might know him. And then sin entered the world.
Well,
Death,
he created that too. Yeah.
So if sin breaks that relationship, as the prophet Isaiah said that your sins have broken that relationship so that he does not hear you. That relationship is broken. How is that relationship restored?
The analogy or the comparison to marriage is perfect. You can damage the relationship just by being thoughtless. How do you fix it? You realize that you really need this relationship and you repent, which simply means you apologize and get better from now on. There's no sin that you can't apologize for. And after you apologize, you're closer than you were before. But in that analogy, a man says to a woman, I think I said this last time also, a man says to a woman, please marry me. I can't live without you. Should she marry him? Or should she recommend therapy? Huh? You can't live without me? Get help. That's true. If you can't live without me, there's no way I'm going to marry you. You need a nurse, not a wife. Of course, we know that he doesn't mean it. But now why would you want to marry him? He's a liar. This woman comedian says, I don't trust men. I learned not to trust men from my boyfriend. He said if I ever left him, he would kill himself. So I left him. They never do what they promise. So either he's lying or he's really sick. So a man should not say, please marry me, I can't live without you. So how about if a man says to a woman, please marry me, I can live without you. Will she marry him? You can? Well, then go ahead. So what's a man to say? You say what God said to us. I can exist without you. I have for a very long time. I can exist fine without you. But what kind of life is that? A man should say, please marry me. I can exist without you, but why would I want to? Now you're talking. So, going back to the question of the word need, we always identify need with existence. But the need to live is just as real. So there are existential needs and there are life needs. Like, I need my child to be good. Why? Why? You'll make more money? You'll have a bigger house if he's good? And how desperately do we need our children to be good? Probably more than anything else in life. That's why people whose children are genuinely evil will never see it. They can't. They can't admit it, they can't see it, because if I think my kid is evil, I'm devastated. I'm destroyed. Why? It has nothing to do with existing. It's life. Life has needs, but they're self-justifying. Existing needs doesn't justify, it just repeats.